It's you.
Oh, it is me. Sorry. Why is it me this week? Well,
I was actually starting to debate there because I can't see you in person, so I knew that this was all part of your little script. You wanted to like have a bit of silence so that I would address the fact that Eunice won again.
it's happened again.
Well, we might say that a few times during this recording session, won't we? Because it has happened again. Eunice has won again.
It has.
Arsenal. We got to start there, haven't we? We've got to do a little address to the nation because they drew with Wolverhampton Wanderers, mate.
Mate, I've not seen the grave move as mad as it did. I mean, I was seeing the gravestone was nearly about to drop over. There was a little bit of rubble moving. The mud was moving. I'm like, someone's looking to come out. What's going on? We need to get people here. Stop this. I mean, it got really tense, mate. It got really tense. The Wolves were alive.
It was an earthquake in an area with no tectonic plates. It was confusing.
None. Very. We managed to just about keep the grave intact, but I'm worried that there's people in there trying to get out now, and it's not looking good, bruv.
It's incredible. It's actually mad because as of right now, this fixture, the North London Derby, which I'm looking at the list now, it's the 9th game that we're going to go through in Premier League predictions today. Sorry that we're not in the usual setting, but this could be something you see a bit more of in the future if Eunice is away or I'm away and we're not in the same proximity as one another. So if you do enjoy it, as always, hit the like button. And it's getting tasty now. We've had a little look through the Premier League this week. I feel like we've diagnosed it. You know, like we've had a little week's break. We had the FA Cup last weekend, which was a much of muchness, really. And now we've been able to kind of look at where everybody's at. We've had that midweek game, which has kind of thrown a spanner in the works, really. It's in Man City's hands now, really, isn't it?
Yeah, fully. Which is mad considering the conversation that we had, and that video is uploaded from a few days ago. Go and have a look if you haven't seen it already, where we were talking about Arsenal's chances, Man City's chances. What does this all mean? I think after this weekend, it's all just blown wide open. And Man City are like bloodhounds, seething, like literally like, you know, waiting to just pounce on their prey. Because they're smelling blood properly right now. Arsenal, that Wolves result has done a lot of damage, and it's still up to them to contain it. But are they going to now? Now it's actually for the first time this season we're talking about them actually bottling it properly.
Do you know what I find crazy? There was a lot of build-up to this game talking about, oh, it's bottom versus top, and Wolves had been a team that had actually beaten the team as the bottom club that were top of the league. I remember Kenny Miller scored a goal against Man United like 20 years ago when Wolves were bottom.
Kenny Miller? Wow.
Mate, what a throwback. But Wolves are the first team ever to go 2-0 down against the team at the top and come back and get any kind of result, which is just mad. Absolutely
it's insane.
Bonkers.
It's insane.
But
and this is where it's going to get tasty this weekend, because the pressure's on now. For the first time this season, we get to see Arsenal really under pressure, and they have a North London derby to kick off with. Like, that's... I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless.
I know what we got to say, mate. We're teasing everybody right now. We're kind of foreshadowing something that's coming in about 25 minutes' time. So we should start going through the games, really, shouldn't we, for the rest of the weekend? Because we've got a few 3 p.m s. So let's begin with Aston Villa versus Leeds United at Villa Park. Also a big game for Villa, because as much as I'll say we, because we kind of did write them off in the title talk video earlier this week. It was very much Arsenal versus City. For Aston Villa, they will also be looking at this if they've got anything about them and thinking, well, yeah, we need Arsenal to drop points, because if we're going to take this league by the scruff of the neck and do our bit, then they could be 4 points behind Arsenal after this game, with Arsenal playing a North London derby. And Leeds, on the other hand, I don't know if you saw Forest last night in the Europa League. They were fantastic. They dismantled Fenerbahce. Seriously good. So I think a lot of those teams down the bottom I think they're all going to go on a run, which by the end of the season, everyone's going to be together in like some peanut butter jelly sandwich at this rate. But it's your score first. Let me know what you think about this one. But I think Villa might win.
Aston Villa, right now have kind of defaulted to a position of they are the little horse. Do you remember us being the little horse? Like in that weird title where we weren't in the title race, but we kind of were.
Yeah.
Although people looked at us and went, they could do it. Whereas no one really looks at Villa and goes, you're going to do it. No one's looking at Villa like they're going to win the league. But mathematically, because of what Arsenal have done, Villa are there. Mate, Villa are only 3 points behind City. And it would mean that if they do win their game in hand now, which they have, they go to 5 points behind Arsenal. Like, they're not a million miles away. So Aston Villa, technically, even though I don't think in the long run it'll go down, they have something to fight for here. I do think they'll beat Leeds at home as well. I think that, to be honest, with Leeds, we've seen that Leeds have had improvements. But I do think that, especially at Villa Park, I reckon Villa will now know what they need to do to get themselves into rhythm. They beat Brighton 1-0. Not the best game in the world, but they got 3 points. I expect a similar score. So I'm going with Villa 2, Leeds 1.
Okay. I'm inclined to try and combat you this week, but I also don't want to just go against whatever you say purely for the sake of the video in an entertaining way. I really wanted to say 2-1 Villa, but I'm not going to stoop that low. I'm going to say 2-2. Screw it. I'm going to give Leeds some serious credit here. Eunice is gone. He's gone. Where's he gone? He's back.
Oh, I'm in.
Did you hear what I said?
You going 2-2?
I am. I think Leeds are gonna get something here. I've been saying I've kind of got to also think about what I'm saying in all these videos, haven't I? Because I'm saying that Villa are going to fall off, but I can't then keep saying they're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win. Leeds have been really good in the last couple of months, and I think it's now that we actually start to see them climb the league table. They've been doing all of the dirty work to get enough points to be out of the immediate drop zone, and now it's about climbing and actually going on a decent run. And I think it will start. I think they're going to get a 2-2 draw.
Well, Leeds had a great 2-2 draw against us, although we gave it to them on a plate. I don't expect Villa to give it to anyone on a plate. I'll be honest. This is why I think they're going to come out on top. But Leeds have been better. I think they'll score, but I think Villa take 3 points.
And another team that we kind of disregarded this week in the European football conversation was Brentford. In the same way that we kind of just brushed Villa aside in the title race talk, we also didn't really... Well, we kind of glazed over Brentford a little bit, but they played Brighton. And when I look at all of the fixtures this weekend, apart from Chelsea-Burnley, which is the next game we're going to do after this, which surely has to be like a no-brainer home win, I think this is also the most obvious result of the weekend, to be fair. I think Brentford are going to slap Brighton about a little bit, and I think Brentford are going to win 3-1.
You really going with Brentford, especially after that 1-1 draw against Arsenal.
Yeah, I think they're going to be buoyant.
To be fair, I'm inclined to agree. I think Brentford, at the moment, have dug deep to find themselves a new level. Brighton feel like they've stagnated. We've seen what's happened with Brighton, and there's the talk of Hurtzler not finding his feet, and that the data-led approach is starting to backfire, and all of this sort of stuff. There's a little bit of animosity at Brighton, but I think going to Brentford is one of the trickiest places to go to in the Premier League, weirdly enough. Hence why I'm inclined to agree. I do think Brentford get a win. I'm going to say 1-0.
1-0. I think there's definitely goals in it. I think Brighton will have a chance or two. I think it's going to be a good game of football, actually. I won't be watching it, though, because I'll be watching Chelsea instead, which is our next game here. Eunice,
Yep.
please. I actually had kind of, for the first time since the game, this is probably the first day that I've not thought about the Leeds game. Like, not even, like a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just little moments. We've got to beat Burnley, haven't we?
I mean, surely. If we're talking about Graves. I mean, but then again, look, I've got to be real. I'm kind of scared of the Graves at the moment. I don't like the Graves.
They're erratic, aren't they? They're not
Mate,
actually dead. That's the thing we've got to remember.
They're not. This is the problem. We thought Wolves were dead and buried, and technically they kind of are, but they've managed to do something against top of the league. We just dropped points to Leeds. Burnley did, in fact, get a result away at Crystal Palace, which was remarkable. So I'm kind of like, realistically, we win this game 3-4-0. But
I mean, bro, after
Charity FC gonna rock up again.
It's going to be one of two things as well, isn't it? Like, all of the players going to Dubai and getting a bit of vitamin D in February is either going to have rejuvenated them beyond our wildest imagination and we're going to get, like, 7 goals. Or they've all been on the flipping shisha pipes and no one's can breathe anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what Chelsea's going to show up. And due to our recent history, it's genuinely a possibility that we have to explore that we might not win. Burnley, but like Burnley are also one of the most erratic teams right now because how can you beat Palace the way that they did? That was incredible. 3 goals in 5 minutes to win them the game.
Yep.
And then lose to Mansfield Town. Like, we're not even talking like a championship team here that like could win in an FA Cup game. Mansfield? I don't even know where Mansfield is. I can't tell you where Mansfield Town is. I don't have a clue. It's up north somewhere, I think. But like,
Mansfield is
home.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Mansfield is on the way to. Is it between Sheffield and Leeds? Not sure.
I don't know.
Mansfield somewhere.
If whatever you say here, I'm like, yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
That's the history of the Burnley right now. That's the history of them being, in their brand new grave alongside Wolves. But they are. This is where you never know, and I can't come on here with certainty because with us, this is what we do. Although I'm inclined to think that surely we beat Burnley. If there was any game that I was a little bit more worried about between Leeds and Burnley, it was Leeds. And we dropped points there. I don't think we drop points to Burnley. I don't think we drop points to Burnley, especially at home. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think it'll be routine. So it's my score, isn't it?
Sure score.
I'm going 2-0 Chelsea.
Okay, I'm gonna be I've missed watching Chelsea. It's been 8 days. Like I've been kind of out of my mind a little bit, wondering. I liked the idea of Friday football until this week when it was like, that was a long time ago now, and we haven't seen Chelsea play. So for that reason, I'm going purely off emotion. 4-0. We're gonna batter them.
4.
We're gonna keep a clean sheet. 4-0. Let's go.
He does this all the time.
Why not? Ask me again in 3 minutes and I'll probably justify why it might finish 1-1, but screw it. Who cares? West Ham Bournemouth is the next game, Eunice. This is big.
This actually is. For relegation, for where West Ham are, what's going on with Bournemouth and where they're at in terms of the top half of the table and trying to really get themselves back up to a respectable position. They're in a good place. West Ham have been better, and except for, to be fair, their last game where they managed to get a result against Man United, right? That was actually a good display from West Ham. And the fact that United did get a late minute equaliser in a game where you probably think West Ham deserved to win that game. West Ham have been a lot better lately. And I don't know whether to think that West Ham are going to get to a game like this and throw it away because they've just been poor for majority of the season, or have they actually turned the corner? I'm not so sure with West Ham yet. Bournemouth, I know, are going to put up a really good game, and hence why I'm reluctant to say West Ham get a result, but I don't know if they've turned the corner. They might have. Do you think they have?
I kind of feel like they have, but I also just... I feel like this game could actually be one of those like really big games in the relegation battle. I think West Ham will be winning it for the vast majority of the game. And then Bournemouth are just going to like strike, you know, like one of those thunderstorms that comes out of nowhere at the end of a summer's day. Like it's been so nice, and all of a sudden you just see this little cloud brewing in the distance, and then he comes and he strikes you down. I'm saying 2-1 Bournemouth with 2 goals in the last 10 minutes.
I'm going to say that West Ham put up a fight, but don't go all the way. I'm going to say 2-2.
2-2, all right. Goals galore. We like that. There's been a lot of goals this week between us. A lot of goals.
There has been.
We just write.
Well, because you said 4-0 Chelsea.
I did. I did get a little bit carried away. I was tempted to go 6, to be honest, but it's Burnley. You never know what Burnley's going to show up, so we'll stick with 4. Man City Newcastle is the next one. Newcastle, fresh off the back of a 6-1 win against Qarabag, mate. Like, it's easy for some, isn't it?
Mate, Newcastle are flying at the moment.
But we should talk about what happened there, because there was a lot. This is actually crazy how it all panned out too, because there's been a lot of talk this week about Walter, who's a player that we've both spoke very highly of here on Shootout. I like him. I think he's a good striker. Currently being played in midfield whilst Anthony Gordon runs through the middle for Newcastle, which I've looked at and been like, that's why you're 10th in the Premier League. That's why you had a bang average season. But then, in this game at Qarabag, Gordon scores 4 goals in the first half, which is sensational. Yep. And then there's the whole penalty debacle where Gordon's like, nah, I'm having this, mate, as Voltemada wants to take the penalty, and he's kind of like sulking off whilst his team are 4-0 up in a Champions League game. Like, it's actually pretty wild. But this is difficult. Part of me wants to just say, yeah, well, Man City are going to just go on a run now. But I'm really not convinced by Man City. But I think I know what you're going to say about Newcastle here. But go ahead.
Okay. And let me know if what I've said is what you think I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with Newcastle lately because they were in poor form. And even from when they lost to Man City in the Cup, lost to Brentford at home, that turnaround from the moment they beat Spurs, to beat Villa at Villa Park, to then go and beat Qarabag 6-1, which is, it makes it look routine, right? Which, when you look, we played Qarabag away, wasn't great. With with Newcastle, they've destroyed them and beaten them 6-1. They're now on a high. I think this game against City, though, again, we go back to what does it mean for both, and who does it mean more to right now? Mate, City are smelling blood. I expect City to come out ruthlessly in this game against Newcastle at the Etihad and just pin Newcastle to the wall, literally. Backs to the wall, swords to the throats, all sorts. I expect City to go on a rampage here out of hunger. So as good as Newcastle have been, I think they're going to catch an L here.
How big of a nail?
What? Is it my score?
It is, yes.
Okay. I'm going with 2-1 City.
2-1? Oh, I thought you were going to go bigger than that. I thunk that you were going to mention Newcastle in the Champions League, and it's a long-ass journey, and then go into the Etihad, which I actually think will be huge in this one.
Oh, yeah, that too.
That too. That's what I thought you were going to say. I'm going to go one step further. I'll take your phrase and use it against you. 3-1 to Manchester City, I think, this one. I think it's going to be routine, and I think Newcastle are going to be tired, effectively.
Yeah. I expect them to put up a fight. I think we'll get a good Newcastle performance, but I think City will be that bit better.
Palace versus Wolves is the next game. This is actually a weird one, because Palace are in the mud, mate. They're seriously in the mud.
Palace are in the mud,
but it's Wolves.
but it's Wolves. And Wolves have had their day out in the sun. You had your 15 minutes against Arsenal. That was fantastic. Well done, Wolves. Amazing. Done. That's it. Your quota is used up. Yeah. Palace win. Incoming. Surely. Although, I will say one thing.
Go on.
Oliver Glasner apparently could be leaving the job early now. So, not sure what's going on there. That came out just about, half an hour ago? So,
I saw that, actually. I think this will be the game that nails Glasner gone. And it won't reflect on him
against
badly
Wolves?
either. Yeah, mate. I think Wolves are going on a little run now, mate. They're going to get the D a few times. It's going to be 1-1. It's going to be 1-1. And Wolves are going to do it again. They're going to get another late equaliser. And, yeah, they're just going to be... Wolves' job now is to be like that irritating cousin. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of the family parties, he's just there, like, running around, like, trying to put the whoopee cushion under you. Just that kind of kid. That's Wolves from now on for me.
Interesting.
1-1.
Interesting. Okay.
I can't believe I've just compared Wolves to a whoopee cushion boy.
Amazing. This is what you come to ShootOut for, guys.
This is top.
Look, as poor as Palace have been, I think this is where they find some sort of stability. I say stability, it's not really stability, but their feet are back on the ground, I think, with this one. And I think, like I've said, Wolves had their day out in the sun, on a bit of a high. This time they get humbled. Palace at Selhurst, a little bit routine, 2-0 Palace.
2-0. Wow. You weren't that impressed then by Wolves' sensational comeback against Arsenal? You think that was just a flash in the pan?
No, I was. I really was, right? But that's it. It's like you've used all your XP. It's done. You have nothing left in the tank. That's Wolves.
Yeah, like the song goes, what Chelsea sing, you've had your day out, now F off home. That was Wolves the other day. But they were the ones at home, ironically.
Yeah. Phenomenally done a job against Arsenal. Brilliant. And I think a portion of that is on Arsenal too, because of I think mentally they let themselves go. They welcomed the pressure. Wolves had nothing to lose, and this is the thing: when you're facing someone that's got nothing to lose, they're actually dangerous. Here, yes, Wolves maybe have nothing to lose, but at this point, neither do Palace, and they need to find something from somewhere. So I'm going Palace 2-0 win.
I think Palace have got their Premier League status to lose, mate, at this rate. Like, they're falling right into it.
They're already
another
there.
Team below them. Yeah, big time. But Forest versus Liverpool, this is also massive. And this is the exciting thing about Premier League predictions. We'll be back in the studio next week, guys. And there'll be lots of content coming your way next week. But every game matters now for something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
For Forest, this is a desperate game for them to get a result off the back of a fantastic win against Fenerbahce. Liverpool, they're currently faltering still, and they'll look at this fixture and be like, well, yeah, look where Forest are in the table. We've got to go and win this because we are now chasing everybody else. But I don't know if Liverpool are going to be able to win this game. I feel like Forest are going to be on a serious high.
They'll be on a high. It's a big result against Fenerbahce. I can't help but think that Liverpool's quality, not that there's been much of it, I'll be honest, right? But I think they are able to handle Forest, even not at 100%.
They've also had some time off, haven't they?
Yeah. Forest, look, great result with Fenerbahce, but I'm not sure. If they can get a result against Liverpool, then that will actually confirm, I think, there's a bit, not just a manager bounce, but maybe what Vitor Pereira has done even in the short term is working, right? But we've not seen much of that. It's been one game. Fenerbahce have not been great either. Do you know what I mean? I think with Liverpool, though, they found themselves bringing a little bit more stable results through the door. It's not brilliant, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like how it was earlier on in the season. And yeah, they'll know that all they need is a disciplined performance and a result. And I think they have enough to contain Nottingham Forest here, I'll be honest.
Sure, score first.
I think it'll be tight,
thinking.
but I think Liverpool get it. I think Liverpool win 2-1.
Okay, that was what I was thinking. I'm going to go 1-1. I think it's going to finish 1-1. I think that'll be a great result for Forest off the back of Thursday night football and a Liverpool team that will be excited to play again after a week off. Sunderland versus Fulham. Sunderland's winning or unbeaten run at home is over. Fulham, on the other hand, are again a little bit up and down at the moment. This is a tough one. I'm looking and thinking what I think is going to happen here. Part of me thinks that Sunderland might go on a little slump now, and I think Fulham have got the quality to potentially go on a good run and get a solid top half finish.
Interesting, because Sunderland have actually had a very, very impressive home run. Fair play to them. They are neck and neck in the Premier League when you think about it, which is weird because in context, Sunderland have had a good season. Fulham, you'd argue, average. Or they've had parts where they've let themselves go, but they've also played well, but they've not got results. Sunderland now find themselves in a position where it's a lot more familiar. And
Yeah.
they did lose at home to Liverpool. Again, that's just Liverpool's quality, I think, shining through there a little bit. I think they actually bounced back against Fulham.
Well, in
Weirdly
that case,
enough.
I'm going to go against you, and I'm going to say Fulham are going to beat them.
No
2-1.
way.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm back in big heaven to score the winner in this game.
I'm going to go on the opposite and go one step further. I'm going to say Sunderland 3, Fulham 1.
Okay, this is great. I hope that we can.
Yep.
I hope that we can carry this this form into the North London derby, which has only taken us 27.5 minutes or so to get there, but we're here. It is without doubt the
We're
game
here.
of the weekend. There's nobody that can tell you otherwise. Let's shape this up, shall we? You've got Igor Tudor, whatever you want to flipping call him. There's a history lesson in there somewhere. His first game as Tottenham manager. You've got a Spurs team that have kind of had a serious break because they had no FA Cup football, because they were knocked out of that early by Aston Villa. You've got an Arsenal team who are either going to be wounded by the Wolves or they are going to be rampant and ready to take out their closest rivals. This game is absolutely huge because I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. But if I was to weigh up all of the possibilities, I think the most likely outcome is that Arsenal destroy them. If I'm
Really?
being real. Yes, and I'll tell you why, and because I think you disagree with me. So I'll tell you why first, and then you can tell me why I'm talking nonsense. Spurs, Tudor could be a gamble that works or it doesn't work, and I just think Spurs are so rubbish that despite despite the fact that they do have some good players, I don't think this is the game that they would have wanted to have first, because I think the ideas that might take a bit of time to be understood and come across, I think there's two things that can happen. He's either going to go ultra defensive and just try and steady it, or he's actually going to go and try and play some expressive football, which I actually think is the one he'll do, because Spurs fans have just had enough. Everyone's just tired, bored. So as a result of that, I think Arsenal are going to eat them alive, if I'm being real.
Fair play. On a footballing level and on a capacity level, for both teams. I think Arsenal are miles ahead of Tottenham. However, when it comes to a derby like this, and there's actually stakes to play for, form goes out the window, and there's an added factor here that concerns me about Arsenal, and that is, and this is what I think we've now seen begin at Brentford, definitely showing at Wolves, and now it's a big, big game, is are they actually losing their heads? And are they actually bottling it again? Because if they can't handle that pressure, this is the worst game you can play if you're trying to deal with that much pressure and you can't handle it. Because it's a North London derby and the bragging rights are there just for that alone. Now you're adding the pressure of Tottenham might actually derail your entire season and prevent you from winning the league. Like, that is so something crazy, that Arsenal have to, 100%, that Arsenal have to mentally get themselves prepared for. But can they handle it? That's what I don't know. And we won't know until the game itself. Because on paper, yeah, if I'm talking on a football level, I think Arsenal beat Tottenham. But in this context right now, I don't know if they've got the mental capacity to deal with the pressure. I'm starting to doubt them properly now.
Mate, I am so torn here because I kind of agree with you, and weirdly, I actually want Spurs to get a result here. Like I normally never say that under any circumstance, just because like my hatred for Tottenham is unparalleled, to be quite honest with you. They're the most annoying team that don't matter, but they do, in the world. So part of me wants to think, yeah, okay, they're going to be really up for this, but I think Arsenal are going to want this so badly. I think Arteta will understand the repercussions of even a draw here. Like if you take the sting out of the occasion and just look at it objectively, it's another team fighting relegation that Arsenal will have dropped points to. It's a team in total disarray. They've got sponsors that are going to be leaving them. Tottenham Hotspur are officially in the mud. Like, it's not even just opinions anymore. It's factual information. They are in the mud. And if Arsenal don't win this game, I can envisage a free fall situation. And as a result of that, it's not going to happen. And Arsenal are going to cause total chaos and win 4-1.
Flip here now. You almost got me saying something else there. Like, mate.
I think I've got to nail my thoughts here. I think that's it. I think Arsenal will batter them. I just think Spurs are so bad.
I'm actually going to disagree. And I can't believe I'm saying this.
Is this what you want to happen, or you think's going to happen?
No. So this is what I don't want to do. I don't want to put something forward that I just want to happen. I actually want to give what I think is going to happen, even if I don't want it to happen. I think the fact that Tottenham are even down there fighting relegation is also going to give extra boost to this entire game as well. Because technically they've got something to fight for, which is not what you want to be fighting for, but they are there and they have to watch themselves and they have to be careful. I've got this scenario in my head, and this is what's doing it for me, right? If Tottenham score, I think Arsenal crumble. Like if Tottenham get the first goal, I think mentally Arsenal collapse. That's what I'm envisaging it, because it's at Tottenham and because everyone's going to be up for it. I think if Tottenham go 1-0 up, Arsenal, I think all their players are going to go, oh my God, it's actually happening, isn't it? They're going to get that belief of crap. We're bottling it. We are actually bottling it, and then I think they collapse, and that's what I'm anticipating. So that's why I think Tottenham actually get a result. I think Tottenham will get a result. You know what?
You think they're going to win?
No, when I say get a result, I think they hold them back. I'm going...
A respectable one. I'm going... Arsenal.
No. I'm going...
Oh, man.
I'm going 2-2.
2-2. That's actually a very good prediction, to be fair. It's a disaster, I think, for Arsenal. I think it'd be a great result for Spurs at this point. Just any drop points that they can inflict on Arsenal right now would be job done, in my opinion. And it's
100%.
also like you got to work with the hand you dealt as well. They're in the mud, so if they can get something that would help Man City or Aston Villa in any way, like they are going to be over the moon, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And this is going to be key to see how this goes down, and then. Obviously, after this game is played, City will still have a game in hand. So we've got to bear that in mind too. Whatever points go either way this weekend, City are going to know about it properly. So
big time. There is one more game on Monday night, as it always is. They love sticking Man United on a Monday night. This was always going to be a Monday night game, wasn't it? Everton versus Manchester United at the new Hill Dickinson Stadium. Everton's new ground. I do this every week, and you know the scoreline I'm going to say. If there's ever a game that finishes 1-1, it's this one. I've just realised. I deserve a booking.
Yes, we've done it!
I'm giving myself a yellow card.
Where's the yellow?
Myself a yellow card.
I ain't got any yellow.
Get your carrot out.
Hang on. Oh, there you are. I'll change the lights.
Yellow card.
You're booked.
Do you know what? I feel like players, right, when they admit that they've done something wrong, I don't think they should get booked for it. I think it's a good sign of, sportsmanship and what other words am I looking for? Yeah, no, I deserve all that I get here. It's a yellow card. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
No, okay. I'm glad that you've owned up to it, but you deserve the yellow. Unlucky, mate. One more, you're off.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you already know what my score is now. You already know what it is, but I'm convinced.
You got 1-1.
It's so obvious.
You've got 1-1.
So
no, you say that this has got 1-1 written all over it. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say there is a result that it's got written all over it, and it's Everton 1, United 0.
No way.
100%. And look at what's happening here. This is United going to David Moyes' Everton at their brand new Hill Dickinson Stadium. Everton have actually been playing pretty well as of late too. They did lose to Bournemouth in their last game, but they went down to 10. Anyway, this has got Man United banana skin written all over it. Because United have been good up until this point. They did have a draw against West Ham. I think this is the sort of game where they actually lose. And then they might pick themselves up, but I think they lose this one. I'm going 1-0 Everton.
Wow. Okay, I'm looking at these scores now. There's no boring 0-0s in there. I've managed to call 3 1-1s in what I think is a very exciting weekend of Premier League football. So there's me just trying to maintain my slender lead at the top of the predictions table for the season. But let us know in the comments below what you think is going to happen. I think it is, without question, the North London derby is the talking point. We will be back in the studio on Monday morning, so we will dissect that game. It will be first, whether it's 0-0 or not. We will make sure that we get that video out for you lot. Eunice, anything you want to add to the Mandem watching us right now?
No, subscribe, notification bell on. Make sure you're here for those videos as we do pop them up in the week. And let's see what's going to happen. And if Arsenal are actually going to bottle this, or are they going to get themselves back on track? We're going to find out. It's going to be seriously tasty.
Seriously tasty. See you in a bit.